What's going on? My name is Tyson McGuffin. This is Boiler Room Breakdown. We're in episode 21. Big shout out to Soccer TV for putting this together for us. And for all you viewers out there, hope you guys enjoy this. Let's have some fun, K-Mac.
Let's geek out, brother. Let's do it.
Todd and Bright in the far corner. Waters in the near corner here. We see Leigh being aggressive with her fourth. That's generally her MO. Look to make her opponents feel pressure as they're in transition there. Leigh looks to try to speed up middle. Watch that again. Speed up off the bounce. One thing that I do like here is that is Leigh speeding up off the bounce. Let's take a look. I'm going to rewind. Okay, so the return, let's see. The return goes towards Parris. Okay, Parris is dropping. Anna's kind of slowly taking her time. So Leigh takes a step back. There's something that we say in camps is that you can give up court position and be more aggressive, whether it's a push dink or it's a speed up. Also, as we see, Leigh has her slide. She's stable. She's in a good location of the court, and the ball's in yellow, so she's allowed to be aggressive.
I think the big thing, too, is Tyson, look at the court positioning, right?
Yeah.
He's not settling to just dink it back and allow them to neutralize. She's saying, hey, we're up. You're still kind of in mid-court. We're going to keep firing, make you come up with some quality shots just to get the point to neutral.
Make you feel my pressure. Okay, make it. So Leigh pulls one. Parris gets her down, takes a step back, goes again. Anna blocks, speed up, and shouldn't have went there again because my two-hander is sitting middle. Okay, looks like the Waters maybe got a little greedy here. Okay, like that, this, but I don't like to go again.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the same location, right?
Right.
Every single ball to the middle, every time that Parris and Anna are either countering or blocking, they're usually getting a full step further in. The third time in a row, same location. Now you're vulnerable. Now you take a lot of risk that they're going to clock a counter, and it's exactly what Parris did there. So love the first two speed ups. The third one, I wouldn't say is wrong, right? But you got to know
a little ambitious.
Yeah, a little ambitious for sure. Trying to thread the needle a little bit more.
But just like what K-Mac said, to know who's in front of you. If you as we all know, Parris has a nice little two-hander. If you go middle too often, she's going to be using that two-hander, and with her on the right, obviously that kind of caters to her two-hander. Point number two here. Playing some D, scramble mode.
Oh, yeah.
Gets one down. Lob. Yeah, I don't think she should have lobbed there as Annalie. It's just a sitting duck in transition. Take a look again.
Try to get it back.
Put the initial return on that inside foot. We talk about this a lot. If there's two righties, there is a gray tunnel on the right-handed player's inside foot who's on the right side, right and right. So Parris is on the right. She's a righty. Looks like Annalie puts the return on her inside foot. Love that area. There's a lot of stirrup and there's a lot of unforced errors taking place by putting the ball towards that gray tunnel. Drop there.
Yeah, I think Annalie correctly takes it, but you see she leaves a little bit of court vulnerable to do so. Doesn't hurt her there.
Yeah.
So they stay ahead in the point.
So Annalie slides here, takes this ball off of Mom's inside foot, and I like this play too. Something I do and mix a decent amount is I feel like my best form of offense is leaning in and really being aggressive off of the return with my fourth and my sixth and my eighth. So whoever can do more damage with a swing and volley or with the ball off the bounce should be taking balls in the middle.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Parris drops middle. Now we got ourselves a little dinking point here.
Waters deciding to dink more aggressively rather than speed up early when they're in position. That's another option you have to still maintain control.
Yep. So it looks like Annalie dinks towards Parris inside foot again. See if we can cause anything. Yeah, make her lift up. Leigh takes a step back, dinks cross. This ball sits a little bit. Leigh has time. She sagged back. Look where Leigh speeds up from. She's 3 feet behind the line. Anna's about a foot off the line. You'll naturally see, maybe it's more so women's doubles. They kind of naturally sag back, but more so with the Waters. They like to hit pushing dinks or push dinks that are a little deeper in the kitchen, force their opponent to lift, and then off of that lift, they're going to sag back, buy themselves some time, and look to speed up off the bounce. Also, too, they like to take big swinging counters, and so we generally see players that have bigger counters or that take more swinging type volleys sag back a little bit as they're in those fire battles. Looks like Anna read the first one, and she's in control. Leigh throws up that lob, probably a bad idea because as we see, Anna Leigh is kind of a sitting duck in transition there, and point is over.
Yeah, to me, unless Leigh's in totally desperation mode in that situation, even if you're trying to buy yourself a little bit more time, just a drop with a higher margin of error is probably the better choice.
Right.
That way, if you do get it down, Anna Leigh can then turn into a poacher because she was right up at the line, and kind of get yourself back up a little bit better. You see when the lob gets thrown up, Anna Leigh has to retreat, and they ultimately are able to, Anna Bright and Parris are able to put the ball away.
Nice. So, and something that we've been talking a lot about, whether it's educational videos or it's camps, is if you're back playing defense and you're back behind the baseline, sometimes you can turn an overhead or turn defending an overhead into swinging, and that swing or that ground stroke will force the person hitting an overhead to have to volley. When they volley, if it's hot out and it's tough to get good depth on their volley, you can use your drive as you're defending. You can use your drive as you're defending to enhance your drop. So as we see here, Leigh throws up a ball, or sorry, Anna pops an overhead. Leigh decides to lob. I would love to see Leigh drive. When she drives, that could generate a shorter volley. With that, then she can mosey up and then look to drop in versus obviously lobbing as her daughter is in transition there. If you want to lob, that's fine. Just know that your partner and yourself have to be outside the baseline. Yeah,
agreed. If you're both back behind the baseline, you can
lob away.
Defense, but if you're staggered, it's a little tougher.
Yeah. Especially, too, like a huge advantage that we have on center court is that there's so much room. And so if you pop a ball up, honestly, use the advantage of being on center court, get your butt back, throw up some lobs, and buy yourself lots of time. I mean, honestly, that's one, like the biggest advantages on center court is that you can play sick defense and there's plenty of room to work with.
Yeah, and I think from Anna's perspective too, I think she was surprised by her mom's shot selection, because if you really feel like your partner's in that desperation mode, you may want to sag back with them a little bit earlier. She was kind of trusting mom to play maybe a higher quality shot there, and was more reluctant to give up court positioning originally. And again, when you throw the lob up when your partner's right up at the line, kind of forces them to go back, and not probably the best time to throw that in.
Right. Okay. Moving on here. Parris is serving to Leigh. Anna drops that ball cross. I would say Anna's two-hander is probably one of the better two-handers in the game. And talk about a girl who really can utilize that non-dominant hand. As we've talked about before, some of the two-handers in the game really are able to let that left hand, or able to let that non-dominant hand take over. And Anna, not only does she drive with two hands, she drops with two hands, and she dinks with two hands. It's all the same look. We're gonna watch that again.
It's all visually very disguised, for sure.
So Leigh hits the return up the line. She goes hybrid drop, kind of a half drive, half drop. Catches Anna Leigh sitting middle. And Anna's like, you know what, Parris? I've been doing things by myself. Slide over, girl.
And and recognizing too, like you said, she go in with more of that hybrid drive drop. I think the reason why is she knew that they were stacking.
Yeah.
So she knew it's kind of a foot race at that point of Leigh having to run diagonal and try to get in formation. If she can play an aggressive ball that gets down quickly, you see how Anna Leigh's trying to stay there and help her mom, because she knew that her mom might be a little late. And anytime you see Anna Leigh take the left hand off.
Oh, it's time to pounce. It's time to pounce.
Sure, that's a last resort in her mind. Move forward, and they did the exact right thing. They sensed the advantage. They closed in hard. Took them a couple balls to put it away, but they gained the advantage, and then sniffed the blood in the water.
Sniff it.
Closed it down.
K-Mac, tell me, what do disconnectors see very, very well? Usually it comes by a little extra lean. What do bakers or
when you see when you see anything, in your opponents where they're getting a little off balance, that shoulder's starting to dip, you know that they're hitting a ball from lower, that they're not going to be able to hit down on you in an offensive manner. So the moment you see that posture change, you want to close in hard and just cut down the open shots and really shrink the court for your opponents.
Okay, Leigh's using that drive. Parris brings it back in a hurry with that two-hander, as with Anna. Leigh's back playing some D. We're gonna run this through here. Oh, it's a sick little pickup, I'll tell you what. Atta girl.
No, for sure.
Lob back in. What is going on here? What is going on here?
Formation got a little messy. So to me, what kind of stands out, at least at the beginning of this point, is the respect that Parris and Anna Bright give to Anna Leigh. Anna Leigh's not really backing up, even though some of these balls are high. And they're continuing to take the ball to Leigh rather than engage in a firefight with Anna Leigh, even though they had in my opinion, a pretty good strike at it.
For sure.
But Leigh's able to...
They don't want to test those hands.
Get up and neutralize. No. I mean, you see the kind of respect that they give her.
Little I formation here.
Ball, it's tough to see where Leigh was, but maybe that's a poor instinct on that last ball by Anna Leigh, feeling like she needs to help her mom. I think anytime you're staggered and you're in front of your partner, you want to poach when it's an offensive shot that you can potentially play. But when you start to feel yourself dip down and reach below the height of the net, maybe it's an easier shot for your partner. On that last one, maybe just a little too much court that Anna Leigh's given up.
Anna definitely gets herself out of trouble there because the lob wasn't great, and Anna probably should have taken it, and Leigh ends up sliding over, and then they end up in I formation. So it looks like...
I just don't think she really knew where her mom was, and just kind of got reactive of, hey, I can get to the ball, let's put one more over and see what happens.
So looks like Anna, the Waters are down 1-7 here. Anna's trying to take it in her own hands and drive and crash and
make something happen.
Get some free points. As we see here, they do a very good job of getting that first ball down. Very nice. And
I don't think that's really necessarily a mistake from Anna Leigh. I think it's important that when she gets this short ball or shortest ball, she's got a couple of choices, right? If she decides to drive, she could split step a little earlier and then just use it as a way to enhance her shot to get in.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, they're down in the score. She knows she's kind of the dominant alpha player on the court, decides to just take a little bit more risk, drive and crash, but you do leave some of those shorter angles exposed when you do that. Kind of perfect location for the ball.
No, for sure. Parris finds the only spot on the court, for sure. And know that even if Anna isn't winning points there, over time that added pressure, that added visual pressure of her driving and crashing could cost some unforced errors later on. So even though we're not
you're shrinking the target for the volley. It's tough to see there, but like you mentioned, she hit one of the only available spots with the volley, a very tight tunnel to be able to hit a winner there. So you got to take some calculated risks at times, and when you're down, sometimes it's time to rev up the drive a little bit.
Yep. Okay. We'll go last point here, K-Mac.
Cool.
Okay, nice deep return. Girls are back playing some D. Throws up a lob again, and we call that a big girl overhead. Let's watch that again. Parris serving to Anna.
A deep return.
Yeah, playing some D, and
so one thing, could we watch that? Could we watch that again real quick, Tyson? One thing I wanted to show is after Anna pops this drop up, you see how Parris is looking to get forward, right? She's looking to be offensive. She sees Leigh about to take a big cut, and she recognizes, okay, I have a time to take one step back and make myself a better defender. So even though she was looking to get forward and be aggressive, she correctly looked at the posture of Leigh, realized she was about to take a big cut, couldn't get way behind the baseline, but realized I have time for one step, get back a little bit more, reposition. She's able at least to keep the ball alive, wasn't able to get forward on it, but these are the little inches that you're trying to gain an advantage of over the matchup. You recognize a good shot, get one further step forward to shrink the court, or recognize a bad shot. Sometimes even just getting one step back allows you to be a better defender to extend points.
No, for sure. K-Mac, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And my name is Tyson McGuffin. This is Boiler Room Breakdown. We're in episode 20. We'll see you in episode 21. Thank you.
All right. Until next time.